Here we are at day 2. Today we are going to be focusing on our lower backs, our hips, and our glutes. We're using 2 tennis balls symmetrically, and I am so excited. I hope you find the release that you're looking for. Again, feel free to pause and lean into any experience if I'm going a little too fast for you. Today we're going to focus on the back body in the hips and lower back region. And oftentimes this is where a lot of tension is stored up that we don't realize, just like in the feet, because there are so many small muscles that we're not immediately aware of. So if at any time you need to pause the video so that you can spend a little more time in a certain area, please know that that is perfectly okay. So we're going to use both tennis balls and we're going to lay on top of them. So the easiest way to get where you need to be is to first lay down on your mat with your feet flat on the floor. And I like to begin on my lower back, right about the point where it lines up with my belly button on my front body. Oftentimes this can be a really sensitive portion of your body, so if at any time it doesn't feel like the good kind of sharp sensation, please know that you can move on to a different area of your body that does feel a little bit better. We want this to be a release that is relaxing. So lift up your hips off the ground just enough to bring your tennis balls underneath your body. Position them one on either side of your spine, and then as you exhale, just gently release back down. And depending on the mobility in your spine and how much you need to release in this area, you might be able to bring your hips back down to your mat. You might also find that just holding them slightly above your mat is actually a more acceptable sensation for you right now. So just find a spot and then release down. Again, it's almost as if your breath is an invitation to allow your body to melt around the tennis balls that you're laying on top of. As you lay here and breathe into the points at which you feel this sharp sensation, notice if there are other areas in your body that you're tensing up to make up for the sharp sensation. As you lay here and breathe, if you notice that sensation start to fade away, that is your cue to pick your hips back up, roll your tennis balls down your back towards the back of your hips, and find a new spot to settle in for a few breaths. You also might find that the closer to your glutes you get, you might like to invite some movement in here by shifting your weight from side to side or tilting your pelvic girdle up and down. So you're tilting your hips up and then down, almost as if those tennis balls are serving as a gentle massage for this area along your spine. When you hit certain spots, you might also notice that the sensation actually travels or is referred into other areas of your body. That's not necessarily a bad thing. When we're really tight or we hold a lot of tension, that's actually quite common. But if at any point it's something you're concerned about, you definitely want to seek out some professional opinions on that. Good. So now we are moving down into the glutes. And when we get into this area, there are so many different places to explore. So pick a spot, stay there for a few breaths, and again, as the sensation begins to fade away, that is your cue to move into a different space. And I like to keep my tennis balls symmetrical here on each side, but there are different points both closer to your midline and further out towards the edges of your body for you to explore. So allow your curiosity to take over here and just experiment with where you feel the most nourishing sensation, even if it is sharp. This will guide you to where you need the most release. Feel free to pause the video here and spend as much time as you'd like before we move on to our next section of the video. Thank you for joining me today. Tomorrow we move on to shoulders and neck.